What's up guys, Element here, back with another video on camera with a very special guest, Flip, all the way from this set. All the way back from Watching Sundays. Go check out the channel. That's my alternate channel with Flip. We talk about all kinds of pop culture. We talk about Orville. We talk about Star Wars, including this topic we're going to talk about. And then we're going to talk about Marvel stuff. And we just recently filmed an episode about fixing the DCEU. So if you're interested in watching any of that, links in the description below. Go check out Watching Sundays. I'll be there with you. So today's story is Star Wars Episode 9 and all of the rift that has been created by The Last Jedi.
Yes.
And the results of what's going on with the spin-offs. So,
and we've done videos reacting to The Last Jedi.
Right,
we both enjoyed it. We thought it was a pretty good movie.
I personally thought it was the best besides Empire Strikes Back. I stand by my opinion. I did that review for you guys on my channel, and a lot of you agreed, and a lot of disagreed. But still, we're gonna move on with. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna move forward.
Yeah.
Because look, just like President Trump, right? It's your.
Whoa, okay.
No, just like President Trump. That's your episode 8. Okay, stop bitching and complaining. That's the story moving forward, and now we have to move forward. And we have to see how the story unfolds. Right?
Harsh words. Harsh
yes,
words.
I mean, come on.
Face the reality.
Come on. There's a lot of movies we've been disappointed in. We can't just dwell in trying to make it into something that we wanted originally, right? This is the story moving forward. So let's move forward and see how we can make the next one even better. Instead of trying to go back in time and fix things that Rian Johnson ruined your childhood. Get the hell out of here.
Guys, you guys got to get in there on the comment section below. See, the divide is real. The convictions of the fans are it's super strong.
It's
right?
definitely split, but
you can totally see the Solo movie in the box office has been.
But it has been commercially and critically acclaimed, including CinemaScore, which rated it an A+. I mean, everybody that walked out of the theater got surveyed by CinemaScore.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was a really good movie.
It scored high with them. It was just, I don't know about you guys, like the guys that don't really like it, you guys gotta get over yourselves. Different directors are gonna tell their stories, and then the next director that comes afterward is gonna take that and he's gonna try to work with it.
Sure. Yeah, I accepted what happened in Episode 8, Last Jedi, that kind of storyline. I was okay with it, but I can totally understand the feelings of the majority of you out there, or whoever you are out there, about how your Luke got destroyed. And so that's kind of like a childhood thing, and some people, they hold on to that.
Right.
And it's hard to let go.
It's absolutely understandable. But now you guys
move on forward.
You guys
onwards.
move forward, but also you guys have to look at us who enjoyed it, who enjoyed the story that was unfolded. Understand that this is what we accepted, and we enjoyed the story. So we understand your feelings, but understand we enjoyed it. So.
Oh, but you gotta get on the comment section with this guy. Ooh.
Anyways, so what's happening with the spin-off movies?
Yeah, I've been looking at all these videos on YouTube, looking on internet, the internet, Google, and it seems like all the spin-offs for these Star Wars movies have been canceled. The Obi-Wan movie, Boba Fett movie. Supposedly they were casting what's his name, Ewan McGregor to be Obi-Wan.
Yes, so they actually debunked all those rumors. They've actually been pushed back because the story, I guess.
So they're just holding off.
Yeah, so I guess right now Ewan McGregor has been signed on to appear in 9, which means
maybe they will fix it somehow.
Which means J.J. Abrams has I guess, in a way, retcon some things, right? He's going to try to fix the story in a way.
That's been a big debate, too, whether he'll do that or not.
So he might change the story in a way, because also Luke Skywalker is slated to appear. Obviously, both Obi-Wan and Luke are going to be Force ghosts in some way, or it's going to be a flashback. Essentially, though, I think what J.J. Abrams is doing is changing the story in a way where he can kind of angle it.
I'm
where
thinking
it's more
like
favorable versus
yes. I'm thinking like, okay, we lost a bunch of fans with this last movie. Now I gotta try to kiss and make up a little bit, give you something that you have wanted for a while. You can't, like you said, you gotta move on. Episode 8 happened. Last Jedi happened. Luke is gone. Now it's like.
But he's not gone, right?
Yeah, he's a Force ghost.
So in the Last Jedi, we got Yoda in his Force ghost, and he was fucking badass. Still, he summoned lightning down to the tree, and then burned that shit to the ground. And
that goes even deeper than I can.
And so, like, you know, Episode 9, Obi-Wan, Luke comes back. We'll probably get to see Luke be a badass in his Force ghost form. I mean, it's all when you look at the Jedi, they've always had the greatest impact on the story when they're gone, when they're a Force ghost, right? Yoda has his impact on Luke when he finally dies in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon Jinn, he has an effect on Yoda when he dies.
But you know what I would say makes those other Jedis memorable is because they died in combat. You know, it was just
Yoda kind of fell asleep.
He did.
But he's like, 900 years of combat. I think he's had enough.
But like, you know, when Obi-Wan fell with Darth Vader's saber, and then Qui-Gon, obviously,
Darth Maul.
But you know, Luke, he just kind of did his thing in the Last Jedi. Epic battle scene, no doubt, but you know, it wasn't like your usual Star Wars kind of like way to go out. And I mean, I mean, Yoda's cool, but we got to see Yoda in the trilogy that Lucas
I think the point of that, the way it unfolded, was to bring in Kylo Ren and Rey even faster, like kind of like speed or fast track their inheritance of the torch, because 9 has to largely be about them again, and we can't have the Luke Skywalker show all the time. So
a little theory here. So we know Obi-Wan is gonna be appearing on Episode 9, right? So that retcon thing, Rey has to be a descendant.
It's not a retcon, because in my theory video, and I'm sure some of you have seen it, in my theory video, Snoke was manipulating their minds when they bridged their minds, right? And so when Kylo says they were nobody, that's what Snoke wanted him to see. He wanted him to see nobody. He wanted to see Rey as a nobody, so he could take his place, kill Snoke, and be like 100% dark side.
Do you think there's a small little hint of redemption for Episode 9 for all of these fans that have boycotted Star Wars?
I'm sure there is, because I've made points all across the galaxies. I've made points. Listen, if you read the visual dictionary, if you've read all of the novelizations, you know Snoke is known for having multiple bodies. Snoke is a very powerful dark side user. He's not gonna be dead. I don't think he's dead. Kylo Ren, what he saw in Rey's parentage, like junk traders, that's all what he was. What Snoke wanted him to see. He wanted Kylo to stop hanging on to Rey and just be fully committed to himself and who he is. He's a Skywalker. And so Rey now, she has to deal with the fact that maybe she is nobody. But of course she's not. Everything from Episode 7 points to the fact that she is a Kenobi, or at least a descendant of someone strong. And so if Kenobi is slated to come back in 9, I'm just like, I'm just waiting for the reveal point when, you know, she finds out. Rey. I know. Yeah, I also have a theory video about how he was training her the whole time. But at some point, they're going to reveal that Rey is a Kenobi in some way, shape, or form. I don't know how they're going to reveal it. I could go on for days on how they can. But essentially, they're going to reveal it, and that's when Obi-Wan shows up. And she's going to be like, hey, you're the voice that's been talking to me this whole time. and then he's going to be like, ah, yes, I have been. Stretch out with your feelings. You know?
You are my daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Why did I sound like
I don't know.
Indian?
I don't know, but still.
You are my daughter.
Still, if you look at the story on paper, face value, there's no reason for Obi-Wan to be in there. If you consider the fact that the end game is to have Anakin Skywalker's grandson face Obi-Wan's granddaughter in the epic finale, recreating the battle on Mustafar in episode 3.
Ooh, yes.
That the poetic justice in that makes sense, and then it makes sense for Obi-Wan to show up, because he's gonna show up. He's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, that's Anakin's grandson. Oh my gosh, that's my granddaughter."
Yeah.
And they're both gonna battle again.
Wow,
so
that
it's
sounds amazing.
Going back to the prequels, going back to the original trilogy, it's the battle between Kenobi and Skywalker.
Yes,
again.
There is a lesson happening here right now for all of you fans that have been divided, that have boycotted, and that have, just like Last Jedi, ever since the Last Jedi.
Luke Skywalker.
I think there's a lesson here, like hope. I feel like the Star Wars fans, all of its dedicated fans, are like in this trial right now.
I think so. Yeah.
There has to be like this message of hope that it's not over.
You
right?
Padawans need to get out of your rut and start becoming Jedi Knights.
Episode 9 might actually be freaking epic.
Yeah.
And bring everybody back together.
And a lot of people like to argue that Star Wars is always about family and the Skywalker family. Of course. And it's always been about how the Kenobi family, or just the Kenobi name in general, has been responsible for bringing about the proliferation of Skywalker and also the end of it. I think 9 is the end of it, because in the regional prequel, right, Qui-Gon takes on Anakin, trains him, he dies, Obi-Wan has to train him, and then he goes to the dark side.
Right.
Original trilogy, Obi-Wan has to spur his son Luke Skywalker to redeem Anakin Skywalker, and for all intents and purposes, that was a success.
Yeah.
And so now this one, another Skywalker is doing the balancing beam on the light side and the dark side, and you have another Obi-Wan to come to action and save the day.
Very, very, very interesting indeed. Like, I feel like this movie is a chance to forgive but don't forget.
Yes, move on, because the quicker you move on, the quicker you accept that 8 is your 8. The quicker 9 is going to make a lot of sense, and then the payoff is just going to feel even better.
Yeah. Because
you cannot cling to a past, or you cannot cling to a certain path that you thought you wanted, or that you still want, but it's just not going there. Trump is our president. We can't do anything about it. So, I mean, we can make all of the freaking polls and shit we want about removing him and impeaching him. It's just not going to happen. So, that's what's happening with episode 9. That's the latest. The Obi-Wan solo film is still on. All of these spin-off films are still on. Oh, and there was also a report that Lando was going to make an appearance in 9 too. Yeah. In Billy D. Williams. So, yeah.
I did not know that.
Not as important and not as shocking, but still some good news there. But that's it. That's it.
I feel excited. I am excited about episode 9. Kind of.
I've always been excited because I enjoyed episode 8, and I enjoyed the implications of interpreting 8's story. Luke's struggle, his journey, and not being so outwardly a badass and just like a white knight. He's just going to, or Marty Stu, or Mary Sue, however you want to call it.
Marty Stu.
Yeah, he's just going to kill everyone and destroy all the walkers with the just staring or glance. I liked the implications of a damaged Luke Skywalker in 8, and I like the implications because now you can build him up in 9. And the payoff is going to be even better. So,
yeah, maybe he's in the we're in the minority, and all that stuff with The Last Jedi and Luke. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like episode 9 might be an amazing movie.
We'll talk to you guys later.